Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here just sitting on my couch, scrolling through my phone and looking at the Olympia coverage. And man, Phil Heath, I mean, one of the most, genetically gifted bodybuilders ever. But does anyone else notice his distended stomach? I mean, it is beyond, I think, any other bodybuilder I've seen before. I mean, not only is he the most genetically gifted, but look at what he's done to his body. And then you have Ronnie Coleman, who is an 8-time Mr. Olympia, I think, who was one of the most dominant bodybuilders ever, probably had the best, physique of all time by bodybuilding standards, is now like wheeling himself around in a wheelchair. It just goes to show that what tons of drugs, that type of training with sloppy form, using the weights that those guys used, and just abusing their body with steroids, kind of what becomes of bodybuilding. And it's such a sad thing because I started off this in this industry as a kind of bodybuilder. I never took steroids. I always wanted to be a natural bodybuilder, and even that has some negative consequences associated with it. But man, the IFBB, the NPC, all that stuff has just gone way overboard. And I understand that's why they wanted to create the men's physique division, because they wanted to bring more, because no one necessarily looks at bodybuilders and say, "Hey, I want to look like those guys," but they look ridiculous. No one wants to really look like that these days. It's a very, very, very small amount, and so men's physique came along, and more people want to look like that because that's more of the beach body, slender kind of fitness model look, and that's more of an appeal. But you're going to find that men's physique, those guys are going to be getting out of control with the drug use. I mean, they already are, but everybody on the Olympia stage, whether it was physique, classic physique, or obviously bodybuilding, are on just, I'm sure it's just ridiculous amounts of drugs. Even the guys who are small, who are 175 pounds, 180 pounds. I mean, even the guy who wins men's physique is on a ton of drugs. It's just like a sad thing to watch. For me, it's like almost a weird feeling because I grew up looking through those magazines, kind of looking up to guys like Frank Zane and Arnold and the kind of old school bodybuilders. Even though they took drugs, it was just a totally different look, a totally different style, and eventually what you're going to have is bodybuilding is just going to completely die down as it should. I mean, bodybuilding is dead already as far as I'm concerned. It's just a matter of time before it completely dies down because it's nothing more than a drug abuse contest. Classic physique, unfortunately, is going to follow in bodybuilding's footsteps. It's going to take some time, but I think those guys look great. They're on tons of drugs too, but eventually classic physique will become bodybuilding, and they're going to still reward the mass monsters and the crazy looking physiques because at the end of the day, bodybuilding is such a small niche market, and people are going to want to see a freak show. At the end of the day, they don't want to see guys who are 150 pounds shredded like a natural bodybuilding show. Go look at the attendance of a natural bodybuilding show, and go look at the attendance of the Olympia or the Arnold or any other big professional bodybuilding. People want to see freaks. It's a small number of people, but that's what the audience will always want to be. So it's kind of bittersweet watching this, as I think bodybuilding is officially dead. I mean, Phil Heath is their golden child. I don't think there's any doubt that he's going to win again, even though he shouldn't. He's just got the most kind of marketability. Rami is not going to be able to be a guy that they can promote too much. And so they're always going to look to guys who have the most marketability, and Phil Heath is that guy. So even though he doesn't deserve to win and he looks ridiculous with that bloated belly, he's probably going to pick up his, I can't remember, 6th or 7th, I guess, tying Arnold or getting close to Arnold. So that's it there. That's all I had to say. Those are my thoughts on the Mr. Olympia. Bodybuilding is officially dead as far as I'm concerned. Classic physique is going to be the new thing that takes over, and then eventually the drugs will destroy that division just like they did bodybuilding. All right, guys. See you.